Hello. This video is about the relationship of percentages to decimals. Now, percent has its meaning in its name. Percent. Cent is 100, like in century. And per means divided by. So if we have 50%, that means 50 divided by 100. And 50 divided by 100 is, well, it's a half, so it's 0.50, yes? Okay. Notice that when we took the 50%, the decimal had been sitting after the 50. Didn't write it because you don't write it on whole numbers, but it's there anyhow. Okay, so if we have 30%, that's going to be 30 over 100, which is 0.30. So we took this decimal place and we moved it 2 places. 1, 2. Because we divided by 100. And when you divide by 100, you move the decimal place. That moves the decimal place 2. Okay, and if we wanted to go from 0.30 to a percent, we would have moved the decimal place the other direction. So if we were starting with 0.30, which is in decimal form, and we wanted it as a percent, we'd move it 2 to the right, and we would get 30%. Now let's look at a tougher percent. Let's look at 6%. 6%, which is 6 over 100, is 0.06. It's not 0.6, it's 0.06, because we have to take this decimal place and move it 2 places. That's 1. And to move it another one, we need to put a 0 in. And that gets us to 0.06. What if we had 4.325%? Once again, well, it'd be 4.325 over 100, which is, dividing that would be ugly. But all you have to really do is move the places, move it 2 places. Oh, 2 places. 2 places the other direction. 2 places to make it smaller. Okay, 2 places over this way, and we will get 0.04325. Essentially, if you just were thinking of it as if it were split here and was 4.04, that'd be like 4%. 0.50 is 50%. 0.06, split it here, it's 6%. Now, percents can be more than 100%. You can say, our profits this year are 150% of what they were last year. That means there's the 100%, that's the whole amount, plus an additional 50%. So it went up by half. We like that. Okay, so let's look at some numbers here. If we had 150%, decimal places here, we'd be moving it 2 to the left, 1, 2, and we get 1.5. And that's a fine and perfectly reasonable result. 100% is 1. 150% ought to be 1.5. If we had the number 8 and we wanted to make that into a percent, well, here's the decimal place, right? But we have to move it to the right to make it into a percent. That'd give us 800%. And yes, that's an okay number. Now, if you forget which way to move the decimal place, go back to the thing you already know, which is 50% equals 0.50. 0.50. If you have a decimal, clearly you have to move it to the right to get 50%. If you have 50%, if you have a percent, you'd need it to the left to make it into a decimal. That's all I've got to say about that. Bye.